We're live.
We're live, everybody.
Woo!
Feels good to get that out of my system, Nick.
Yeah. Boy. Nothing like a great entrance to a good party, huh?
That's right. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, this is iced tea that I drink on these lives.
Yeah. This is iced tea too, with a little bit of Bailey's.
Oh. Hey, aloha, Bruce.
Oh,
Greg.
Ron. I'll be right back.
Yeah, super excited you guys are here. Oh, Nick has abandoned me. That's right. Watch out for the sharks in the water. Hey, aloha, Melissa. Pardon me. Hey, Jacqueline. Welcome. Yeah, Cameron's man in the chats in there. Kristen. Yeah, welcome, everybody. It's our weekly marketing jam session show. We are super excited you guys are here. Hey, aloha in South Carolina. See you, Charles. Francis says she's having iced tea too. Long Island iced tea, Francis, or iced tea?
Red Bull tea.
Hey, all right, awesome. Super excited you guys are all here. Hope everybody has been staying busy. Gerald, Tommy boy. Oh, I just watched that movie the other day. That movie
Tommy
great.
Boy?
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Hey, aloha, Patty. Welcome. Greg. Man, Dennis. Yeah, lots of people coming on. Awesome. Hey, aloha, Garrick. We missed you on the coaching call yesterday.
Hey, Garrick.
Hey. Dorn. What's up, my man? Loved your video. Gerald says you're looking manly with that beard.
Oh, thank you, Gerald. Yeah.
Jacqueline said we're heathens. Yorkshire tea is the best.
Twinnings. Jacqueline's got the Twinnings. Twinnings is like the real popular tea over there.
Oh, is it?
Twinnings.
I don't know. I didn't get to go to London. It got canceled.
Yeah, Jacqueline, we were going to go to London. We had it we were going to do a tour.
Yeah, we're going to be there in May, right?
Yep.
But then it all got canceled.
I think we're going to table that though, right? Are we going to go back? Are we going to go to London and when this whole thing blows over, or are we going to go somewhere else?
I don't know.
I think we're going to go to London.
Side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry says he drinks it every day. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're super excited you guys are all here. I know they just started reopening some things here in Hawaii. Like today you can go golfing, right?
Yeah. We could be golfing right now, but we're here hanging out with you guys because
Yep, some parks and what else? It's very limited, like very few things, Gerald says I look kind of Wolverine-ish.
Kind of
yeah, the sideburns are getting really long. Shave them off.
Gerald Clooney. Patty wants she wants you to snap some pics and post them in the group. That's great.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Well, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, you guys. We have a great program lined up. A lot of people taking action. A lot of great shout outs. We got our member of the week. We'll be giving some stuff away. We have a couple other surprises that we're going to share with you guys shortly here. So who's excited for that?
I am.
Who do you guys think the member of the week is? Any ideas?
Start making your guesses now.
If somebody can guess the member of the week, maybe we'll give them something special. Devendra says, y'all don't want to know what I look like. That's how I feel every morning right now. Like every morning I wake up, I'm like, my hair, my beard, should I just, nah, doesn't matter. Everybody gets a pass right now. That's the thing with quarantine. You get a pass. It doesn't matter what you look like, how savage your beard is or how unkempt you are. Just go for it. YOLO, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's been funny to see all the people doing online trainings and they've all got beards and they're all wearing baseball caps and like stuff they'd never do before, right?
Right. Everybody's normally pretty polished, right? Pretty pulled together. Now it's just like nobody gives a hell.
Well, stuck at home. You guys see my chocolate shark back there? I still haven't eaten it yet. See it?
What?
This was the Paige and Sophie got me this for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah. Chocolate shark.
It says you're jawsome.
That's funny.
Let's get chummy.
That's great.
Yeah, I like it so much I'm too afraid to eat it. Yeah, well, why don't we do some shark shoutouts?
Cool, let's jump into it. You got them pulled up?
Let's do this. I do. You're going to have a weird feeling as I share my screen because I don't have dual monitors right now.
Sure.
But let's see. We will share the entire screen and then I'll jump over. There we go. All right. So our first shout out of the week goes to Bruce, a Mayo who has just been crushing it. He's been sharing some of his successes and also his progress through the path to six figures. Like he's on fire. So Bruce, awesome job, man. This one says, had to stop prospecting and had to go meet with a future client. Well, an hour ago, as a future client, just signed them for a monthly residual. I love this graphic that he put here. Prospect, what happens here? Customer.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love it when I see multiple, like in our Shark Alliance group, right? We have so many people in there, especially, recently we opened the doors for the first time in a long time. And we have people that have just jumped in and hit the ground running, right? And I'm like, when I look through my feed, I see guys like Bruce, stopping everything to go talk to more customers, landing residual clients, which of course I love to see. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And then I keep scrolling and I see another one from Bruce for something even bigger, something even better. Like, oh, I got my second client and he has like a badge in there. And I'm like,
yeah,
that wasn't good enough, right?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but Bruce did get 2 shout outs.
No, I know. I saw him. I mean, there are a lot of people that are doing that. And I think it's awesome because you guys, we're able to do stuff right now, right? Like I had somebody come to the office the other day on the other side of the plastic, of course, and ask me like, well, how does it feel to be able to like be so busy as you are with everything going on? I mean, everybody else is basically, not like, what does that feel like? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm really grateful, right? I'm extremely grateful that we have that ability to do that. At the same time, like I feel like compassion and all those other feelings of, everyone struggling right now. And at the same time though, like, the entrepreneur in me thinks like, well, we work really hard to diversify our business in a lot of ways, right? Like we didn't know this was coming and obviously anything could like knock us off our tracks, but we make it a point to like, not just do one thing and diversify and have different levels to what we're doing. And like, for whatever reason, we got lucky this time. So I'm really grateful for that, but it's definitely a weird thing. I've never even really thought about it, till that person said it to me. Cause I've just been kind of putting my head down and grinding like normal, right? Like I always do. And first time I really was able to kind of reflect on that. So.
Well, you know what it's like, I've had those feelings too. The other feeling that I've felt even stronger now than before is that feeling of wanting to help other people do the same thing. Because like I look around, at people that I know and see they're struggling. And like, I think it doesn't have to be that way. Like it doesn't have to be that way. Like you have a choice in the matter of
right.
Whether it's that way or not that way. And, Nick's right. We work really hard to do the things we do. It's You know, it takes a lot of effort, but it's totally worth it. And I think anybody, if they're willing to put in some effort and do those things, can do it. I was really struck by, so the other day I was watching, I don't think I mentioned this on this yet, but I was watching The Martian with
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Matt Damon. Yeah. And I love at the end when he's in the class, right? And he says, like, at some point, everything's going to go south. Everything's going to go wrong. And at that moment, you have a choice. You can either give up or you can just start solving problems. And you just solve one problem and then you solve the next problem. And he's like, and how do you do that? You just begin. You just begin. You begin with one problem, you solve it. Then if you solve enough problems, you find yourself coming back home. And like that, to me, is such a great, like, I mean, that is entrepreneurship, right? Like that is building something successful. The first thing is, like, you make that choice. You make that choice. Like, am I going to give up or am I really going to try to make this happen? You make that choice. And then the next thing you do is you just begin. As imperfect, as clumsily, like, I mean, when we started out, we were pretty clumsy. Like, you feel like you're just like, you're in a dark room and every time you turn, you're knocking things over and banging into stuff. But like, eventually your eyes start to adjust and you start to get better. You know, you start to see things a little more clearly, you know, and get a better feel for the room. But you know, you have to stay in that room and keep doing those things. Like if you just stop or you just give up, it's like you never get to that point. So
yeah, it's true. And I think it really transcends into what we teach, you know, what a lot of our closest members are doing. It's not just us that have been busier than ever, right? It's no surprise that the members of the Shark Alliance are getting clients, getting more customers, getting recurring customers right now, you know, because people are taking action, right? They're doing those things. They're putting in that effort. So it's not just us, I guess, is the point that I want to make.
Yeah, no, that's been really great to see all the other people that are doing it and killing it and all that stuff. So Bruce, you're our first shout out. That's awesome. Our second shout out. Oh, is that you? We should do a video like that, Nick. Let's doing that little bump there. Our second shout out goes to Dorn Brenton.
Dorn.
So Dorn said, I just landed a speaking gig with 350 people teaching them about email marketing. Wow. How convenient.
Wow.
That is, right? If it goes well, I will be doing the same gig next month to talk about Facebook ads and the following month talking about omni targeting. Shiz is about to blow up.
Wow. Should we just No, we'll wait, right?
No, we'll give you. So Dorn, you're in luck because, like, I don't know if you guys saw that we're doing a training tomorrow, and it's about email marketing because that's an opportunity we see as well. So we're going to talk about that on the training tomorrow about what, you know, like what the opportunity is, how to use it, you know, like how to use it in your agency, how to help local businesses with it. So I think you guys are really going to like it. So,
whoa.
Noise. Is that you, Nick, or me?
That's a lead, everybody. That's a lead coming in, just so you know. I'm gonna
awesome.
block where you see that Zoom call.
Awesome. So Dorn, congratulations. Super excited to see you in the shout outs. And like, I think your idea, Dorn, of Nick and I have talked a lot about this. Like, right now is a great time to be doing what Dorn is talking about here. Like, that's another way to lead with value, right? Like, you could throw together a Zoom meeting, invite local business owners, and just talk about things they could be doing in digital marketing. Like, share your knowledge, share the information with them, bring value, and may end up with some clients, right? But I think that's really awesome, Dorn. Our next shout out goes to Bruce again.
You guys already know that Bruce is crushing it, though.
Yeah, we got to get this little money flying out thing for Bruce because that's awesome.
I want to, Tom. Can I jump back to Dorn real quick?
Yeah.
I know he's on the call with us too. So yeah, Dorn, congratulations, man. And for those of you that didn't see it, like, Dorn made a post in the group yesterday. He shared a video actually where he shares his entire journey over the last, I guess 8 to 12 months, but I mean, from month 1 or 2, he really hit the ground running, and he talks about like each individual step of the way that he took in order to get to where he's at right now. And I mean, he's one of our megalodon sharks, right? Like he's got level 12. We probably need to add another level for those guys at some point that are just going to go to multiple 6 figures. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, check the Facebook group for that at some point, because it's a really interesting story, and I like to hear, you know, the beginning to the end, that whole process.
Yeah, really awesome. So we got Bruce. We gave Bruce another shout out, and then our final shout out is for Keith Forrest. He said, "Hi, all. Set up my Facebook page, posted a simply 15-second video, and look at views within a couple of hours with no boost yet, as it's in review with Facebook. Already have my first premium client. I think people are appreciating the free upgrade to premium that I'm offering." That is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Congratulations. The whole, it doesn't matter how you want to go about this when it comes to like the premiums, selling premiums, getting recurring revenue for premiums, or doing what we're doing right now, which is temporarily giving away the premium listings for free on our Agency Growth Machine website, right? But the important thing is like you're trying different things, and if it works right now for you to be selling because you're in a specific industry or niche, or you have a different angle or value proposition, then I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Way to go, Keith. Cool. So that's it for our shout outs. We'll get to our member of the week here in a minute. Maybe we can, why don't we do the what we're reading? Let's do that early, and then we can talk some more. So just so you guys know, we do recommend books every week on the show, and you can always find them at offlinesharks.com/books. And we always put them up there. So this week I have been reading a book by Robert McKee called Storynomics, and it's story-driven marketing in the post-advertising world. And so basically Robert, talks about, different phases advertising's been through, why consumers are so jaded today, and how to overcome that by infusing your marketing with story. Right. And if you don't know Robert McKee, he's a pretty famous story guy. He actually wrote a book for writers called Story. And so this is how you apply story to marketing. And I found it very interesting. I think it's super relevant for the current times we're in, because, like Nick and I talk about all the time, you can't just be out there doing the same thing we were doing before about just leading with services, right? Like, it's really hard to go out and try to sell services. But if you can create a story, if you can craft a message that makes sense with your community, like think about what we're doing with Agency Growth Machine, right? We're like creating the story of like, hey, we're helping out our community, we're building this resource, like, and that's a story people can get behind, right? That they want to participate in and join in with. So yeah, so Storynomics, you can check it out, offlinesharks.com/books. It's a good one.
For those of you that are wondering about that whole storyism, I guess you could call it, because I saw that, and when I was originally introduced to like people saying you could sell through storytelling and really take your business, if you're doing any sort of sales, to the next level doing storytelling. When I was working with, started like selling websites, really selling websites for the first time, I noticed that when I started to like just talk a little bit more in terms of like what has happened to me from my experience when I was talking to the customers, my ability to acquire a customer really shot up. Because, for example, right, like I've gone through the process of building a website, right? I know for some people, and I've gone through that process with having like starting from zero, no idea how to do it. So I know the pitfalls, I know the difficulties that people face. I know it can take a long time if you're inexperienced and you need to learn. And when you're talking to a potential customer and lead, like if you can speak to that, like your experience in that story, like it really, really, like for whatever reason, it grabs onto the person at the other end of the table, and they can relate, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy knows what I'm talking about. He's seen the same things as me, and for whatever reason, it pushes them to buy more. And so one of the things that I always say is, like, whenever I get a new lead coming in, I always make reference to, like, a story that I talk about is how most people have had a bad experience with a website designer. You know, they go dark, because most people really have, right? So I talk that story up a little bit, and I say, it's important for us, like, we don't want to have, give people that same experience. It's important for us to have good communication. And if you send us an email, we send you an email back. And I talk that story up, and they're like, most people, I would say probably 90% of people I encounter have had a bad experience with the website designer, right? Can we all agree? Like they right, they try to get something built, and then that person disappears and goes dark, or they send an email and they don't hear anything back, or they call them and they don't pick up their phone because they're living in some basement somewhere. But people, that story resonates with people, and when you tell it to them and you say, this is why we're different, because we're not doing that, they love you for it. So use that if you can, you guys. Use from your experience.
Yeah, and really what books like Storynomics, like I have a couple of different books on, so this is kind of my process, right? When I want to start to learn a subject, I'll usually find 3 or 4 books on that subject and go through them, because you'll start to notice that there's like recurring things in each one, right? So you start to identify what the foundation things are to start to understand how to do something or how to implement that in what you're doing. So Storynomics is the first one that I'm reading. And, it's one thing to say like, oh yeah, stories sell, and to tell a story, but how do you do that? Like for me, the first step is figuring out, well, what makes a good story, and then starting to think about, okay, well, what are the different steps along the way, and how can I, take this kind of story that I have and add in these things. I don't know if that's making sense, but like, there's a craft to it, right? There's actually formulas and techniques behind how to make a story more compelling and a message resonate. And, a lot of times people just think like, oh, well, I mean, I read a lot of stories. I watch a lot of movies. Like I know how to do this, right? But that's not the case. Like, there's a lot of things that we don't know, we don't even know. So, I like to start getting in and figuring out what those things are, and then thinking about, well, okay, how can I start to apply these in little ways along the way? So
that's great. Great insight, Tom.
Somebody said they tried to hire Spider-Man as their website designer, but he never got back to them. Yeah. How about we do our, want to do our member of the week?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Elaine said Donald Miller's Story Brand is, yeah, I just ordered that book. So that's the next one I'm going to read. That's the next one I'm going to read. So you might see it next week. Cool. All right, let's do our member of the week. So I'm going to, hold on. With my single
member of the week.
So hold on, Nick.
I wonder who it is. What's up, Jason? It's good to see you here.
That's the best I can do the image because of my screen. So our member of the week, dun 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 dun, dun is Doug Page.
Doug.
Congratulations, awesome. Doug. Woo!
Doug, you're the man.
Yeah, Doug, you win an Offline Sharks shirt. So if you can do us a favor, reach out to Cameron, or our team will reach out to you to get your info, and we will get some an Offline Shark shirt sent to you.
Good job, Doug.
Go, Doug.
Was there a little blurb there under his name for any notable actions that he did? Most engaging.
Most engaging, yeah. Most engaging member of the week, providing feedback to other sharks.
Appreciate that, Doug. You guys have been helping out a lot, and I want I want to give a group a group shout out here, because honestly, you guys, it's been crazy here for both Tom and myself. I mean, in terms of like how much stuff we've been doing. I don't know if you guys know this, but like we've been everywhere in the last 30 days. I mean, there's been no rest around the Shark Tank at all. And you guys have helped so much in the group, like helping out the other members. Like people ask questions and you guys give them feedback. And I've just, at the end of the day, I'm like looking through my feed and trying to answer as many questions as I possibly can before I'm like, okay, enough, right? And like, I can't tell you enough how many times I see other people answering questions with the great answers, the correct answers, and I don't even have it in me to like respond, but I'm like, I really appreciate you, whoever you are. Thank you so much. Cause like, you know, I don't want to leave anybody hanging, right? And, you know, we just got such an awesome community and it means so much to both Tom and I. So you guys, we really appreciate you helping out like that. And I think, you know, somebody said yesterday that we have the very best Facebook group out there when it comes to local marketing. And I think so. I mean, might be biased. We do. I know. So it's because of you guys. It really is.
Yeah. Congratulations, Doug, on being the member of the week. Super stoked for you, man.
And so here's one thing that I want to kind of dovetail into that. We have such an amazing group. We have so many awesome members in our community. And a lot of you have been seeing us wearing some new merchandise outside of Offline Sharks. But the small business rescue squad merchandise, I think I saw Shan on here earlier. He was like, where do I get that shirt? Where do I get that shirt? Right. And, you know, unfortunately, we didn't start that brand, but we have now partnered up with the person who has. So
we know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy.
So now, just so you guys know, we are partnering with the man, the myth, and the legend, right? Hold on. Let's get the suspense going. Check this out. Mr. Jake Bob Ross. And we're partnered up on the Small Business Rescue Squad merchandise. So we have set up a Shopify store for all of you. You can go to it now. Today is the grand opening of the Small Business Rescue Squad merchandise store. You can see my ugly mug right there showing off my shirt. And we've got all kinds of hoodies and shirts. We're going to make more stuff, more stickers and all those types of things. You know, I think now more than ever with everything going on right now, like having something like this that you're walking around town in is could be huge, right? When I wear my shirts, people, they're like, they always make comment of it, right? And it's a great conversation starter, you know, and we are rescuing businesses right now, especially right now, right? Aren't we? So if you guys want to get a shirt or a hoodie, or we're going to have masks soon.
I don't know that we're going to have masks.
We're going to have masks soon. We're going to have stickers. We're going to have masks. We're going to have all the latest gear. We might even make a money gun. We can shoot a bunch of money out of it. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and check that out. offlinesharks.com/SBRS. It's 20% off site-wide right now. There's a coupon. Use the coupon code OPEN if you guys want to pick up one of those shirts. I personally, what's on my list is the red hoodie, but because I live in Hawaii, can't really wear the red hoodie all the time, but I can crank down the AC in the office so I can wear the red hoodie. So it's on my list. I personally like the red hoodie. So yeah, check that out, you guys. I know, like I said, a lot of you have been reaching out and asking about it, but we unfortunately couldn't do it before. So now, you know, I was talking to Jake, Tom was talking to Jake, Cameron was talking to Jake, and we decided to partner on it. And I think it's really cool because we love, you know, we love the messaging. So check that out, you guys.
Yeah, super excited.
Jacqueline, I believe we do. Go to the if you go to the page, Jacqueline, you try to shop. There is a calculation for international shipping and possibly the VAT tax. If not, send us a ticket, Jacqueline, because we want to make sure you get one. Dorn says long sleeve black tee order. Dorn, if you make us a tie-dye Small Business Rescue Squad shirt, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to give you some like we'll have a special prize for you. Dorn, Dorn's the tie-dye marketer. Is that the tagline, Dorn?
Lynn, the code is open. So the coupon code is open, OPEN.
Yep. So what do you guys think about that, huh? Like the Small Business Rescue Squad topic. I know a lot of people already Dorn says I'm on it. Shan says, I tracked that shirt down when I saw you on it. He already bought the shirt and the hoodies the same day. What about hats? Yeah, we're going to get some hats together. We're going to get some hats, some stickers. Tie-Dye Digital, that's his name. Tie-Dye Digital.
Nice.
Tie-Dye Digital marketing guy. That's amazing. I love that.
I noticed you and Jake got your pictures on there, but you didn't put a picture of me on there.
Where's your shirt?
Yeah, I'm feeling left out.
Tom, we don't have a shirt of you. We don't have a picture of you wearing the shirt, man. You never wear your shirt. You got to represent. You got to represent to represent. Right? I have. It's funny because like I have all these like marketing shirts that I've collected probably in the last 6 months from people. Like I don't know how I got them. I mean, friends have given them, like Paul James, Joe Troyer, Rob, like, and I had like my closet right now is like, as Shan has mentioned, 50% virus clothing and 50% marketing shirts.
Oh,
good stuff.
Nice.
So what else we got to talk about?
Well, we can take some questions. Let's do some
okay.
Let's do some questions. So let's see. Let me get to my show notes here. Because we did have some popular questions in the week. Santhosh, I hope I said his name right, Santhosh, said, which lead scraper tool is best these days?
Depends. Good question. What kind of leads are you looking for?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times we use different tools based on what we're trying to do, right? Like, obviously, we've created some lead scrapers of our own. Like, it's hard to just have a lead scraper that scrapes just general things. Like, we prefer to identify a pain point, find leads that have that pain point, and then reach out to them with a solution. That just seems to be a better formula for success. So, typically we don't see a lot of those types of lead tools. So we kind of made our own. We have one for site speed. We have one for SSL. We have a new one in the works that we're launching here in June. So like we tend to look for ones that are based around a pain point, right?
Right. I think it kind of goes back to the email prospecting thought process, right? Like a lot of people out there, they for whatever reason, they see somewhere online where people are doing like mass email marketing, basically spamming, right? And there's some marketing behind that in general to convince people that that's a great strategy. And while I think there's a time and a place for it and people definitely have success doing it, we, on the other hand, Tom and I and everybody else in our community has had much more success doing something that's much more targeted, much more specific. So rather than mass emailing thousands of people, we have a much more targeted approach where we pick somebody out for specific reasons and we narrow down the ways that we can help them, and we send targeted emails. And our foot in the door strategies, like when we combine that with whatever lead scraping tool we're using, those tools will help us to uncover some of those things that we want to help them with. So for example, like Tom mentioned, if we're looking for websites that have slow loading websites, like we use a tool that does exactly that, right? It scrapes for slow loading websites. We don't just want to, like, it's good some cases to just build a massive list, right? But when we're doing prospecting, we teach doing a much more targeted approach. So
yeah, and we've just had better success with that, right? So another question we got was from, who is this from? From Elena, and she said, what are people using for screenshots? Gene doesn't work very well anymore. This is one of our most popular posts.
Oh, I use this. Snagit.
Yeah, that's what I use too.
So we use Snagit, you guys. But we're using Apple, right? Both Tom and I, and it adds a little plug-in to the top of your bar where you can capture, or you can take videos, or you can. What I really like about it is if I want to take a full-length screenshot of this website, I just hit capture like this, and then I click the arrow, and then it scrolls down the whole page, and then it saves it for me. And you can actually get like a link that you can share with people. You can edit the image, add like arrows and call outs and shapes and stuff like that, right? So if I want to like add text, I can do that. If I want to just say, hey, look at this guy. Maybe we should add a picture of Tom right here. And I can do that. And then you can just hit share screencast and you get a link and you can send it to people. So
yeah, Snagit's pretty nifty. We use it for a lot of stuff. I see Latara said, when you find these targeted leads, do you initially reach out to them via email or phone call or other? Latara, we reach out to them however we can to get a hold of them. So like, it's not a question of one over the other. It's a question of what do we need to do to actually talk to them? So we may start by sending emails, but if they don't respond to our emails, then we'll call them. If we can't get a hold of them on the phone, we may send them a piece of direct mail. Like we may even stop by. So, I think one of the important things to remember is not to get so wrapped up in the particular method that you're using. Like your goal is to get a hold of them. So you need to have a system of like multiple types of contact. So, what most people do is they send out some emails, they wait to hear back, nobody responds, and they go, oh, well, I tried prospecting. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like you need to, if you're send out one email, you need to have a system in place for follow-up. So, 3 days later, you send another email. They don't answer, you give them a phone call. Like you need to have a system there. And your goal, you should be like that dog that's chasing a bone. Like you're not happy until you get some kind of response from the person, even if the response is no. No is good. No's fine. Like that's cool. Like I'm happy with no, but I just want a response. So, sometimes in my follow-up, I'll even tell them that. Like, hey, look, I've been trying to reach out to you. You're not responding. I can see you're opening my emails. If you're not interested, that's cool, but can you just let me know so I can close your file and I don't have to keep bugging you?
Yeah, again, it's the way that people sell doing email marketing online. So it's not always the truth. Like Tom's mentioning, there's follow-up that needs to be had. It can be more than just what you're told, right? And I personally think whatever strategy you are going to do the most and you are most comfortable with when it comes to targeting your leads, It might be the phone, it might be email, it might even be going in there in person, talking to them one-on-one and having a conversation. Whatever strategy you are most comfortable with and you will commit to the most and you will continue to do for a legitimate amount of time before you change your mind and do something else. Like, you need to be consistent with whatever form you're doing. So that's the one that you should pick. It's not which one works better. It really comes down to you. Which one are you going to do more? Because they all work on a certain level, but the driving force behind it is you.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing we say all the time too. Like, the best prospecting method is one that you're going to do every day. Like, if you can do it every day, then do it like you should be doing it every day.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see. Was there any other questions in here? Oh, this is a good question. So Bobby said, here's the deal. He said he had a client that will work with him, but the client wants to see some proof. They want to view other clients' websites and even talk to them to see if his investing money into all of this would be to his benefit. Trouble is, I ain't got no clients that he could reach out to say hi, that I'm magnificent. I could always show him some dummy templates, but they're not full operating sites. Any thoughts or suggestions? Nick,
I like how he said they'll never know I'm magnificent.
Yeah.
You are magnificent. There's a lot of things you can do, right? I think it depends on what you're trying to do. Did he say which service he's trying to sell?
It's a website.
A website. Okay. So, for example, one thing you can do is, if you're, a member of one of our website foot in the door strategies, then you would have access to a tool that we've created called any of our website themes, right? Like, you might have access to Website Profit Monster. So if you're new and you have no clients, this is going to help you in a couple of ways. Number one, I would set one of those websites up, Website Profit Monster. Just set it up, because you're going to learn how to do it, right? You're going to learn that skill, which you're trying to sell anyway. You need to do it anyway. And then what I would do is I would set up some stock imagery there for a specific niche. Like, maybe you want to have a website about roofers, or whoever your prospect is. You should make one for him too, right? Like, make one in his niche. So if he's a pest control person, you can do pest control, right? The other thing you can do is create another one in another industry. So keep doing that. Maybe do 3 or 4 websites that you can create. The beautiful thing about our themes is you could have one of those websites set up, once you're familiar with it, like 20, 30 minutes, right? Just stock photography, basic info. Like, you can type the headlines yourself, like best pest control website for this area. And you could have like a 4, 5, 6 piece portfolio of your own, just using that one theme in less than a day. And so you could use that as your portfolio. You could even sell those websites to specific industries and say, look, I'm just getting started. I'm trying to build my portfolio of businesses here. I can build you this website. It's a pest control website. You're a pest control guy. Normally, I would be charging a couple $1,000s for this, but because I'm trying to build my portfolio, I'd give it to you for $500. And then now you're actually building your portfolio of people that you've sold to, right? So do a great job for that person and have them give you a review. Have them give you a testimonial that you can then put on your website, and just start stacking the chips that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick hit the nail on the head there. Like, I think where people get all kind of like weird about this is they don't want to be honest. And you should always just be honest with your prospects. Like,
yep.
Honesty is the best policy. So if the guy says, well, can I talk to some of your previous clients? You don't try to figure out a way for him to not know that you don't have any clients. Like, you use that advantage. You say, hey, I got to be honest with you. Like, I'm just launching this business. I don't have any clients yet, but I do have example sites that I've built on my own that I'll show you. And because I'm getting this business off the ground, you're able to hire me at a considerably better rate than you would find other people. And, and I can get the job done for you, like, right? And then when you do the job for that person, you just have to over deliver, right? You have to be super communicative, respond, get the job done quickly. Like you got to really deliver so that he can be your testimonial person, right? So like the first thing to get out of your mind, and this is such a common problem, and I know we've talked about this before, but so many people have nothing, like they don't have any clients. They're just there, and they're trying to like go out there and portray themselves as this big marketing agency. And like people just, they can just sense that that's not the case. It just doesn't come across as authentic. However, when you're first starting, if you go out there and you're like, hey, look, I'm a guy right here in this area, which by the way, is a huge selling point for people. People want to work with web designers that are in their local area. Like they want that. That is a huge selling point. I would say that probably gives you a better advantage of getting the job if you have no clients, but just because you're in the area, right? And so just play that up in the beginning, like I'm here in the area, I'm a web designer, I'm getting started. Like, don't be afraid of that. Like people relate to that and they're like, oh, this is good. And the benefit for them is they're getting a good deal, right? And you can just tell people that, like, look, as my, I have a plan in place, and as my agency grows, which it will, prices go up. So, this is an opportunity for you to get a quality website at one heck of a deal. And then as you get clients, then you can start changing your wording and your positioning, right? But
another great thought that came up for me when you're talking about that, Tom, is, and it actually touches on something, another question that I saw just come up. So you guys got a twofer. You got a twofer coming up here. So when I was getting started, and I know Tom can relate to this, I had this idea in my head that because I didn't have a portfolio, people would be shutting me down, right? So that for a while stopped me from getting started. It really, like, I got started late because I was like, well, I don't have a portfolio. So just stop, right? Dead in my tracks. But as I finally got the courage to get started and try to like go past that, I figured out that the businesses that I was starting to work with initially, they almost never asked me for a portfolio. They almost never said, let me see your portfolio. I actually rarely get that question, even still till this day. And it might be because I have a portfolio on my website now. But with that said, I didn't even have a website for my agency until I had already built 10 websites for people. So it's not a requirement. And the second part of this twofer is this question from, let me pull it up here. Oh, same thing. Whoever this is, they're not signed in, but they want to know about the SEO for the website. They're afraid that they're not going to drive traffic to their AGM website, right? So you might have missed the training call that the calls that we've done recently, but I want to share something with you, right? So, as an agency growth machine member, what is our primary objective? What are we doing with that system? Like, yes, we right now we have a restaurant website and we're building this great site, but why are we doing it? Yes, we're helping the community, but there's another reason. I'm waiting. There's a little delay in the chat box, so right, it's a foot in the door strategy. It's a foot in the door strategy to connect with other business owners. Okay, you guys, so when we're reaching out and prospecting to these businesses and we're trying to get our foot in the door, which means get their contact information and also have them interested in our other services that we can sell them. How many, like in our example for this site, this restaurant site, right, that you guys, a lot of you are probably very familiar with, you can see that we have, hundreds of restaurants in this site already, right? Hundreds of restaurants. In fact, just so you guys all know, we have every single restaurant on the island in our website. So that industry as a whole, like, we are working with them. 70% of the restaurants on this island are open at some capacity, and they're in our website, and we have their email address, and we can speak to them through our email list now, which is amazing, right? We literally have that industry under our the internet, I guess you could say. It's amazing. So that's the whole goal behind this thing. But how many people out of that 200 do you guys think asked us, how much traffic does your website get, before they gave us their email, before they actually got on our list and we started talking to them about our products and services? Because I know, as people that are into SEO and marketers and all that stuff, you think the first thing you think is that when you contact these businesses, they're going to say, how much traffic does your website get? And if you say less than 1,000, they're not going to give you their email address, right? Exactly. None. Nobody asked us, how much traffic does our website get?
0.
Goose egg.
And that's not just with the We Deliver site. That's true with other influencer sites we've had up and running for a year or more. 0 people ask that question.
Right. And even if
people ask us that question are people that are on our trainings.
Are you guys? You guys are the only ones that ask us that question.
Ask us that question. But what about traffic? And that's the myth that you have to smash, right? Like, if I know how my brain works. My brain wants to give me every reason in the world to not prospect. And so when somebody says, look, just set up this site and then start calling businesses or reaching out to businesses and tell them that you have a free listing and that you want to give it to them. My first thought is like, well, but I need to have traffic first. Like, what about traffic? So that's a reason for me not to start reaching out to businesses. Whereas if you just start reaching out to the businesses and forget about all that other stuff, you will find an amazing thing happens. Like, the businesses are actually excited to hear from you. The questions that your brain makes up that you think you're going to get and have to answer don't happen, or very rarely happen. And then next thing you know, you find yourself with some traction, and you may even just walk into a deal and you're like, why was I ever worried about this? But you got to do it. You got to be prospecting, revenue producing activities. Forget everything else. Just start prospecting.
I hope that this is the same person that asked that last question, and you're saying that you're only asking that question because we mentioned it in the training. So you guys, we're going to go a little deeper into this, right? Because we're doing what we've been doing. Would you believe that our site gets traffic without SEO? It gets traffic. It doesn't, it ranks in SEO, but because of the topic, because of what we're doing, because of what we're teaching, if you look at our Monster Insights analytics here, I'm going to pull up a custom report, right? We're not running ads. We're not doing any of that stuff. You can see that this website is probably, I don't know, 30. I have to set the custom date range. Hold on.
I think we started on March 21st.
Let's go a little bit before. Oh, it's not gonna do it.
Go do the third beginning.
I don't like this calendar. Okay, there we go. I want you guys to see the trend. So look at that, you guys. Obviously, we're here today. So, but look at that, 80 people already to our website. But you can see on day 1, March 21st, we made one post on social media into a group called the Maui Mommies group, and look how much traffic it drove. And that traffic is comprised of consumers, people that are looking at our site wanting to use it to get more information about restaurants that are open or doing delivery, but also business owners who want to add their website to, or their listing to our website. So that one post, look at that, 144 unique sessions. So that's 144 people on day 1 from one post. And you can see that our traffic has steadily grown throughout that entire process. And you know how we're doing it? We're continuing to post on social media for free, in free Facebook groups. You guys all can post on social media. You're on social media right now. You're posting on social media right now just by engaging in this chat. Everybody can do that. So if you're worried about driving traffic, go on social media, pick a good cause to put your site up around, and go post for free, and you will get traffic. But you don't really need it. I'm just saying, you don't really need it. If you're just looking to get customers, you'll get customers without even getting the traffic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's really just grassroots and letting people know, right? Like just getting the word out. Like you don't need all of that stuff, especially when you're building a site locally. Like people don't expect it to get 1 million visitors when you're putting together a local site or anything like that. And they just really don't think that way. Hey, Lynn, can I real quick? I see Lynn's question about, she said, do you have a sequence to contact those business owners in the email? Yes, Lynn. So inside your agency Growth Machine members area, there's a section called, I think it's called setting your site up for restaurants. And we give you the entire 7-day sequence in there. You can just load it in Ascendio.
Rose says, pick a good cause. What does that mean? So Rose, for this website, the cause that we picked is because restaurants right now are no longer offering in-dining experiences, right? They're doing only takeout, delivery, or pickup. We've created a website that helps to let the community know which restaurants are still operating. A lot of them are shut down, 20%, 30%, sorry. And these are the ones in our specific area that are operating at some capacity. You can see Coconuts is only doing curbside. Actually, they're delivering now. So I just got a piece of direct mail from them. A business doing marketing right now, which is important to point out. They sent out a print mailer a couple nights ago. Yeah, Tom, you got it.
Yeah.
That must have costed a few $1,000s, right? For that piece. It was a nice piece, thick cardstock and really well done. These businesses are doing delivery and takeout. So this is a good cause because it's supporting local businesses. People will actually use the site because it has a purpose right now. And just like Terry said, the word gets around. The businesses will talk to other businesses about the listings. And we've proven that to you just in the last 10 minutes with the traffic analytics and what we've been talking about.
Every time you show your site and you show that crepe place, I want to go there and get a cheese blintz. Their cheese blintz is so good. Oh my God.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh, well, look, they're doing delivery and takeout.
Yeah, I know. I'm on their email list, so I get their email.
That's funny.
Yeah. Another thing I would say about that too, so this is one cause, that's really relevant here, right? But you could build up around other causes too, like essential services would be another cause, right? We started with restaurants and then we just got such great traction that this is what we're doing. But had we not gotten good traction with restaurants, we would have moved on and done an essential services site. And now we're mapping out plans to do those things, adding more of these influencer sites in around those different causes, right? This isn't the only one. This is just what we started with and it got a lot of traction. But you could also do a site around there's eco-friendly businesses. You could do, there's all kinds of options, right? Like vegetarian restaurants, health conscious businesses, this is just kind of relevant now for the current environment we're in, but those other things could work as well too. I was just talking to somebody yesterday and they were saying how, you could do a site around entertainers, right? You could have the local site where when people are planning a party, all the entertainers and various things are catering companies and stuff like that are on one site. That could be your directory site. So lots of options. What
would be a really good one too is I was talking to Paul this morning and he gave me the idea of how CPAs are kind of a shoulder niche for us because their customers are, a lot of them are business owners, right? People that need marketing. And so if you had some sort of if you had a bunch of CPA clients and you had an agreement with them, hey, let people know about my services I offer, and you made it easy for them. Maybe you gave them a discount or something that they could resell or coupon or whatever as they go about filing taxes for people that, own businesses. Like if you had a site that was just all, oh my gosh, you guys, the leads are coming in today. I swear that's a lead. I swear. I should take that just live and just take the call.
Maybe next time.
Anyway, if you had a site just around CPAs and tax, I mean, that would be such a huge net because you could build off of their client base while you're just prospecting to them.
Yeah, Jack, CPA is a certified professional accountant. Darcy, yes, our team does work on the weekends, just so you know. So it usually takes 24 to 48 hours for them to get those things set up. So I see Alistair asked, what are your thoughts about showing the map or an image? Alistair, it's really just personal preference for you. I mean, we have students that do it both ways. So, both ways completely work. I don't think there's a better way or a worse way. I think it's just whatever you want to do. One thing I do like about having an image there, especially an image that is of the local area, is that I think it gives your site a really good local feel, like even more so than the map. Right?
This is our friend Jason's site, which I think looks great.
Oh man, that looks awesome. Yeah, that looks great. Nice.
I mean, this is Jason's site, Tom.
Yeah, it looks great. Really good, Jason. Upstate menus, that's great.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah. Hey, well, I know we're at the top of the hour, Nick. We're a little over. Let's do one thing real quick because we do have one thing we need to get in here, and then we can answer questions a little more after this. But like I mentioned earlier in the jam session, we are holding a training tomorrow where we're going to be talking about email marketing, the opportunity there, how to ways you can use it as a foot in the door, how you can deliver that as a service to local businesses. This is another area that Nick and I see being as, that's going to be a really people are going to need this in the current situation. And a lot of businesses now are realizing that they can't have a physical location open, that they have no way to communicate with customers. Like once things reopen, how are they going to let customers know? All that kind of stuff. So you guys should go to the link that's on the screen, sign up for the training tomorrow. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about that, taking questions, all that kind of stuff. So it's really good. You guys are going to love it.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
My addition to that, you guys, is that client reactivation is a piece of what we're going to be talking about too. And it's, businesses right now, a lot of them have email lists of customers that they're not doing anything with. And that's the quickest win for them, is to start speaking to that email list, right? Like they have a Square platform with all those emails in there. And if right now they started communicating with them, even in the shutdown, they're going to get out of this thing in full force. So that's a piece of what we're talking about too. So this is going to be a good training, you guys. You're going to walk away with a lot of good information out of this one. And you should join us.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to love it.
Sweet. Gerald says he registered. Awesome, everybody.
Stretch. Man, I've had the yawns today, Nick. What's going on?
Tired, overworked, stressed out.
Oh my gosh, we've been working so much. Like I have like 2 more calls after this. It's like, got to get off this phone, get on another call. I had 2 calls before this. It's crazy. Plus we have a webinar tomorrow. I don't know if you know that. So we need a presentation for that.
Yeah, by the way, you guys, this is our presentation tomorrow, just so you know. We're like, this is us. So
Yeah. We're going to be doing all that. Yeah. It's, we're our whole point in doing this really was to just bring some, to really try to bring some value to you guys and share some of the things we're seeing and some of the thoughts we have on it. Because we want everybody to be getting clients and moving out of this, right? So, and there's several ways to be doing that right now. And this is another one.
What time is the training?
3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Gerald says you're underworked and overpaid.
I don't know about overpaid. My wife might agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Well, look, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Like, this was a super awesome jam session. You had lots of great questions, lots of good feedback. Hope you got some value out of this. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the training tomorrow at 3 p.m. I think you guys are really going to like it.
I think so. I think it's going to be an awesome training. You guys, if you want more content in the meantime, maybe you can visit Tom's podcast. What's the link to go there?
Oh, you can go to tomgaddis.com. Or how did we do it? I think we had, well, you can go to tomgaddis.com, right? But we had a special link set up, but yeah. I can't remember. I think it's offlinesharks.com/Tom.
Yep.
But yeah,
Tom just set up.
Yeah, the episode that I just released this past week, I got to interview Brian Kurtz, who, if you guys don't know who Brian is, he's like a super stellar direct marketer. He's one of the guys that built Boardroom up into this massive, I think they were $1 billion company. He worked with Eugene Schwartz, Gary Bensavinga, all these great people. So it's a really great interview on over delivering. And if you go there and you share the episode, I actually got Brian to send me 5 autographed copies of his book, and I'm going to pick 5 lucky people and send them to him. So.
Wow. Why didn't you say that before?
What?
I didn't know you were doing a book giveaway on your podcast. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, so he's sent the books. They haven't shown up yet. So he may have to send me 5 more. So I don't know. I may end up with 10. We'll see. So, but it's a good idea to go there and do that. So that's why I haven't been like pushing it too much, because I was hoping I wanted to actually have the books in my hands, but he said he would resend some other ones if they didn't show up soon enough. So. But I won't make you wait a long time. You'll get it.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for being here. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we'll see you guys in the Facebook group, and we'll see you on tomorrow's training.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Stay safe, everybody.